Inequality-opoly, the board game of structural racism and sexism in America, is an educational property trading game based on recent national studies, with the mission of spreading awareness and advancing discourse about how structural racism and sexism affect the accumulation and sustaining of wealth in America. The objective of Inequality-opoly is to battle with or benefit from structural racism and/or sexism to become the wealthiest player by buying, renting, developing properties, and making deals. The game begins as each player draws a perceived identity card from the deck and flips it over, symbolizing being born. Specific lines in the perceived identity card will be constantly referred to throughout the course of the game to show each player what they have to roll in order to get an inheritance, get a mortgage approved, own a business, avoid prison, or take part in other life events. After players have been born, there are 3 inheritance rounds where each player rolls dice in turns, hoping they roll in accordance with line 1 of their identity card to see if they inherit property. For example, if the identity card says the player has to roll less than an 8 to inherit property, and they roll a 6, they randomly pick a property card. If they roll a 9, they do not inherit property. After the inheritance rounds, each player rolls the dice in turns and moves the game piece according to the amount rolled. When a player lands on either payday space, they receive their salary based on their identity card. When a player lands on a yellow life event space, they draw a yellow life event card and follow the instructions. If they land on green, they draw a green life event card instead. Yellow life event cards affect only the player that draws it, while green life event cards affect all players. If a player lands on a property that is not owned by any other player and wishes to purchase the property, that player must roll to get their mortgage approved. If approved, the player must pay the cost of the property to the bank to receive the property card. If player does not wish to buy property or gets their mortgage denied, the banker must auction it off to the highest bidder. A player can earn or lose 3 types of chips which can affect their game. Green employment raised chips, which symbolize employment, red prison industrial complex chips, which symbolize criminal history, and blue voting chips, which signify the right to vote. Players can also partnership with other players who own the same property color group. If a player's debts exceed their assets, they go bankrupt. The game ends when either the whole board is dominated by one player or partnership, and all other players are bankrupt. The player with the most wealth at the end of the game wins. Inequality-opoly is available as a physical board game, an online experience to facilitate and supplement diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings, an online course, and more educational activities. To learn more about Inequality-opoly and its mission, visit www.inequalityopoly.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Thank you for watching.